Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. You'll notice that the model is a little bit different today, and that is because, well, I found another model in another open source project, and so I'm temporarily borrowing that until Ada's model is complete, because I was tired of looking at the Hiyori model, and plus I wanted to test. Um, uh, Emotions, toggles, idle animations, and this one had a lot more stuff in it, so I am temporarily borrowing this model. So if this is your model, I apologize. Anyways, one of the things that I just want to give you guys like a little bit of update on where I'm at. It's been a little bit. I actually got sick for a little bit, and I wasn't really working on this as much as I would have liked to. But so one thing that I was trying to do is I've been trying to find the base model that I'm going to use. Previously, I had segmented out the vision model and the consciousness model, and I think I might go back to that. The problem was that it was kind of, it felt a little slow and clunky because it was two models on the same Olama server. And so you couldn't have both of them working on the same thing at the same time. So I tried to go back to a unified model, and I don't know if maybe it's because of Ada's system prompt personality overriding things or memory overriding things, but it's not as clean. Um, she'll pick things out, but it feels like she's I don't know. It's hard to put into words the way that it is. Like if I'm just looking at the pictures straight directly from command line with the model, it's pretty okay. Also, one other thing that I found that was weird was I was testing out this other model called Gemma 3 that has vision and text, and like even after like clearing the context window, like the second message that I would send it would just absolutely brick itself. I think one of the big things that I'm going to need to try to overcome is the context window and like what context is attached. Like I almost want to make it so actually, I mean, that's the most realistic way is to just like not have a context window at all. And I don't know exactly how to do that because like I run into this issue where it's like after, so I'm testing like the image thing here, um, and it's like even with dumping the image afterwards, like context just gets like real wonky in this window. And so I need to find a way to output this transcription to like a file somewhere so that I have the conversation after the fact, but it's not attached as context in the session and or conversation, right? Because um if I do that, then it's going to be rough. Now the thing is, when I was doing the separate models, it was okay because the image model handled the images and then sent the textual context to Ada's consciousness model, and so that that was fine. When you're attaching 440p images to the context window, it's going to overload it real fast. So I think I might go back to that. I got to try to figure out a way maybe to load a vision model in parallel somehow. All of this has been really fun, by the way, because like I didn't go to school for this. I'm completely self-taught. Everything that I'm doing right now is just things where I think through it, and then I try to see if somebody else has done it, how they've done it, try to think through how they did it if it's not expressly written out, which is, almost all of how Nero and most other AI VTubers um, work and stuff along those lines. So it's been a really interesting project in terms of just figuring it out, right? And so it's been a struggle, and there's probably a lot of things like I'll get really really excited about something that I found, like I'm gonna put in like the conversational boredom attention layer, although I don't know why that's not working. Like, let me see if I can find her window. Okay, so check this out. So this right here, I can't understand because she's supposed to be generating thoughts, right? And when I do this call, normally it's perfectly fine. Everything works perfectly fine. But when I turn her on, I can't figure out why it's not pushing her thought process to Llama to get some sort of return on this. So that's super broken at the moment, and I need to figure it out. It's giving me a 404. It's probably some small little syntax thing somewhere that I forgot, and that is what it's doing. But I spiral into other things. Like I found out this morning. Well, actually, yeah, I found out this morning that apparently Windows just shuts um like certain audio things off if it hasn't like did anything in a while. So like I went to go talk to her this morning, and her TTS was broken, and I was like, why aren't you talking? And so I did some research, threw it over to my homie Claude, and he's like, oh, did you know that, do you have like a keep alive heartbeat thing in your TTS engine? And I'm like, nope, because I didn't know that I needed to have that. So now we know, and I have to fix that this afternoon. Um, and so yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle bus, but she does have multimodal mode now. So in the future, when I find a model that I like, that's good, that works, and the other nice thing too is that I found out while researching fine tuning that you can set flags to not overwrite or tune on the vision layer of a model, just the textual layer of a model. But trying to find the one that I want is the struggle, and then I have to completely refine tune a um, a new model on Ada's personality. Um, Thankfully, I've already generated like 1,000 lines of, how she should work, so that shouldn't be too bad. And, utilizing Unsloth for fine tuning is fairly quick. Um, the pipeline, I think I mentioned it in another video, was that I generate all of it and then I run it through a model with Ada's system prompt. So I generate a ton of different questions. I run it through a very large model, which runs super, super slow on my computer right now. Like realistically, if I had a RTX 6000, I would just run that model because that model is really good. I'd run a much bigger model if I could, but it is what it is. But I need to get together like about 2,000 personality files. And so what the plan is that I'm going to fine tune a base personality for Ada, and then we're going to have I can tune that base personality after the fact for very specific things. Like I could tune, I could tune one for Fate Grand Order. I can tune one for D&D. I can tune one for like a bunch of different things. And so um whenever we're doing something like that, right? I can have a toggle that will hot load her base personality, but also have her Fate Grand Order knowledge available. One of the things that I was having an issue with, and let me show you. This is the image that I was working off of last night. Um, I'm gonna have to train her on like who these characters are. So I think that this is gonna be a lot bigger of a project like than I thought. Like I was like, oh well, I'll just teach, I'll teach this bot how to play Fate Grand Order. It can't be too hard, right? It's all of these are just kind of sitting here. But then when I was trying it last night, I was like, yeah, how many quick cards do I have? Well, she has no concept of what a card is, right? So she's like, oh, it says quick, but it's over 100 Ibiki Doji, right? So she's like, you have one Ibiki Doji quick card, and one Ultria quick card, and stuff like that, right? So, I'm gonna have to figure out a game plan on how to train her on what these images are and like who Altria is, because that's Altria Caster, right? But Altria Caster is different than Altria Saber or Archer or Assassin or and I know they have different names, right? But regardless, um, it's gonna be a lot more than I initially thought. But I think that it'll be good to kind of figure that out. And so I also need to figure out a good way to teach her what the aspects of the UI are and how I do that now that I think about that. Because it's like, I mean, I guess I could like scribble on here and be like, this right here is Altria Caster. This is Altria Caster's portrait. If you see a portrait that looks like this is Altria Caster. So in this situation, Altria Caster has one quick card and one arts card, as well as one noble phantasm. So it'll be an interesting project as I go. But that is kind of the update. I probably won't have an update for another couple of days. I gotta go in for some surgery tomorrow, so I'm gonna be uh you know, I'm gonna be out tomorrow, and probably won't be working on anything. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying this project as much as I have been. And I will catch you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.